I would like to touch upon something to do with better milk and more quantity. I'm saying few of the points which Mr. Praveen, Mr. Bhalerao and others have really touched about. It's quantity and quality. I think we have all listened to these numbers that where are we with service the quantity aspect. And here in particular when we talk about quantity, we are now trying to compare productivity on a lactation cycle basis. In India, we have a large number of people who try to say what is it that the cow or buffalo is giving every day. But I think the global benchmarks are more to do with the lactation cycle. And in the chart here, if you see, we can clearly observe that we are far below than in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, US. We are still at a national average of 1,000 or 1,100. So the figures keep fluctuating here and there, but still the global numbers have reached easily 11,000 or even 12,000, 14,000. So the good part, of course the bad news is that we are low, but the good part is that there is still plenty of room available for us to improve upon, which means also means that getting quantity is possible if we are able to address this part. When we look at productivity, also important is what is it that we are feeding the cows or the buffaloes? What is it that we are providing them for the comfort? What is it that we are providing them for the hygiene? And I think, again, Mr. Praveen has touched upon this, is a fodder issue. It is a management issue. It is basically how are we providing cow comfort? Because a cow or a buffalo is going to give you productivity only if she is comfortable. So the question here is, yes, we must all look at productivity, but first we must go back and look what is the current status on cow comfort, on cow fodder, on cow hygiene, on cow health. Interesting challenge, quality. Mr. Bhalerao touched upon that in the first session, and he mentioned that we have a very big challenge of getting an approval for our milk quality if we are supposed to be playing in international markets. Today, anything which looks like a white water is very much acceptable as milk. And we have enormous interesting challenge here on quality. And when we talk about it in the industry, the question always is that we are already in a demand-supply gap. So is the industry ready to focus on quality, or is the industry just going to look at the quantity? Well, that is something to be debated, but at the same time, is time enough if we have to compete, or if we have to stand by as a dairy industry competing in an international environment going forward, we start looking at the quality. When we look at the quality, I think enormous work and awareness was created a few years back, wherein lots of bulk milk coolers were set up in various parts of the country. And we think that's a very good thing to happen at the society level, at the dairy farmers level. The question that we need to ask is just setting up a bulk milk cooler sufficient enough? It has almost become sort of a necessity to have a bulk milk cooler today, with the ambient temperatures that we have, with the environment that we handle our milk. But is this sufficient enough? Are we saying that bulk milk cooler is going to solve our quality issues?